Hi guys, and welcome back. In this video I'm looking at the factors of production, also known as resources. So what are those resources, ladies and gentlemen, that we economists refer to? Well, they are capital, enterprise, land and labour. And as you can see, I have identified the first letter of each, C, E, L and L. So the nice easy way to remember the factors of production is just remember that word cell and then obviously plug the relevant word to fit the specific letter. So let's just get into a little bit more about what these things actually are. So capital, what do we mean by capital? It's important from the very outset not to mistake capital in this sense, in the sense of finance and money. What we mean here is investment by firms in capital goods, capital equipment, or as you might more commonly know it, as machinery. Now, why might firms do that? Well, they might either wish to purchase more machinery, so they might buy some new machinery, or, as you know, through time and with age and with use, machinery tends to wear out, and so old machinery will need to be replaced, and that write down and having to replace new machinery, that's called a depreciation cost, and so as a consequence new machinery has to be purchased. Enterprise, I'm sure you're all familiar with the word entrepreneur, somebody who starts their own business, and hopefully many of you might go on to move into that particular field yourselves. So what's an entrepreneur? What's this enterprise? So an entrepreneur is somebody who has an idea, who combines the other factors of production in some way, the capital, the land, the labour. They might not be an expert in everything, but the entrepreneur is able to pull all of these other resources together to produce a good or service which you and I will demand and hence buy. And you'll not be surprised now, just having a little look through the Sunday Times from yesterday, and there's a lot of money pouring into new startup companies at the moment, particularly in health and biotech. And obviously in the midst of a pandemic, that comes as no surprise to you. Hey Gico, that's not something strange, you're probably saying to yourselves, but yeah, that's billions of pounds being poured into new startups in this particular area, in these areas. Land then. So land means natural resources. So oil, gas, could be particularly fertile land because you live in a particularly temperate climate or something along those lines. You will probably also be aware that as a consequence of the pandemic, the oil price, which was sliding anyway, has been on a bit of a slide because obviously the demand for oil is probably all-time lows. Tankers are just sitting out in the world's oceans full of oil, and they've nowhere to dock because nobody is demanding the oil. And so I've just checked their oil today. It's trading at around $40 a barrel. And to the best of my knowledge, don't quote me on this, but I do think that the oil companies, they need to be earning around about $40 a barrel in order to just cover their costs. So $40 a barrel is not really where they look for it to be. And if you're thinking about the UK, North Sea oil, for example, obviously that's on the decline, is running out. It's a finite resource, going to run out at some point. The numbers in terms of how many barrels of oil are actually left in the Earth's surface in terms of North Sea oil ranges from approximately 3.5 billion to 20 billion. It just depends where you look. If you look in the Scotsman newspaper, you might find it's closer to 20 billion, not so in others, but yeah, billions of barrels, but maybe 15 to 20 years worth, something like that. And then finally, labour. So that's you, that's you pointing to me, that's you and that's me, and it's human effort, both physical and mental. So we're either using our brains, or perhaps we're particularly good with our hands, or joiners and sparkies and plumbers and all that type of thing. So that's human effort. And if you think of the UK in terms of its population size, there's about 66.6 million people in the UK, and approximately 34 million of them would be in the labour force and willing, able to use their physical and mental efforts in that way. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that's been of use. If this is the first time that you've watched one of my videos and watched till the end, thank you. Please give it a like down below, share and subscribe. If you don't already follow me on Twitter, that's G_Conomics, you'll find me there. Instagram, same, G_Conomics. And if you want to know a bit more about economics, where you can go with your career in economics, what events take place for economics, then consult my website, geconomics.co.uk. Thank you and bye for now.